Hello. Hello, everyone. Corrie Thorne here. Mystic channel, psychic medium, all things in between. If you're new to my page, then welcome. It's been a while since I have been in, and just coming back again since I think it was like the 10th or the 11th of May since I have been in on a live. Now, I have been doing a lot of YouTube videos, so there is a lot of stuff on YouTube, or some more recent things on YouTube, but it has been a couple weeks. So I'm just going to wait for some people to get in and trying to make sure that I am on Facebook and YouTube. So I'm broadcasting always. When I'm broadcasting on both, and the replay will go up after, shortly after the live is over. You will see this come up. So I am just watching to see if I have people on both. So I'm just checking in. Hello, Michelle. I was just thinking about you. I'm just waiting to see if I got anyone. Just wait and see if someone comes on YouTube. Hello, Natasha. Hello, everyone. So I'm not coming in for a long time, but I am stopping in. Michelle, you're welcome to join me. You're welcome to come in. You do have the link. You do have the guest link to get yourself online if you want to pop in with me. So you can always come in. It should be in your messenger. It's always the same link. So hello, Rhonda. Hello. I don't see any YouTube, so I'm just waiting to see if I seen. I'll just spectate. Okay. I'm not going to stay long. I'm having a little bit of fuzzy going on the screen, so I was just trying to fix. I'm trying to figure out why I got some fuzziness happening. Hey, I noticed my bottom looks different. They've done some updates. Hold on. I'm trying to get myself in I feel like I'm not in the right position or something. Something is not right. Hello, Liz and Jenna. Hello, Felicia, Monica. Hello. I did just post a new YouTube video today. So the week update, the week update for May the 23rd, it did just get launched today. I have not shared it over to Facebook, but it is on YouTube. You can go check it out. It's actually about a 35-minute video, and it really ties into a lot of everything that I even was writing back when I wrote the More Than Existing book. And so there is some looped energy, and we have some loop stuff that is going on around us. And so we are kind of coming to completion or endings and coming into some new beginnings that is happening around us right now. So we have a lot of interesting energy, and I always call this interesting energy gives us lots of opportunity. I feel like I'm not in the right place or something. You're going through it right now? Right? How can I watch you and take my mind off of it? Got to be right here. Perfect timing, right? So it's like you just stay here, just stay present, stay here. I have not been in. It's been a few weeks. That makes sense, Michelle? Yeah, I'm telling you, there has been some, it's definitely some energy. So my weekend report that I put out still ties in a little bit into today. I feel like it's like my weekend report on energy update on YouTube, and then this one all kind of like brings this story together. It's what it feels like. It just feel like there's like a coming together of all of these pieces. And so I'm like, there's just this moving wheel. Before, the energy was like the Tower card in Tarot, and now it's like the wheel. And now we're moving into like the wheel energy is what it feels like. So it feels like there's a motion, like something is we're in the motion. So tides are turning. There's like, it's like watching the wheel in the water, right? When you got the water just going over and over and over again. Like, it's like wheels are used for many reasons, and it moves many things. Like it can transport us. It can get us where we need to go. It can move water. It can move cables. Like, there's just so many things, so many uses for the wheel. So I just feel like there's just so many things that are just happening. since Thursday to today feel off. Yeah. And so Marilyn, look at it differently. It's not that we feel off, it's that we're shifting, right? And so we can't stay who we used to be. Every day we're somebody new. Every day there is something different about us. Every day life changes us. Every day events and moments. And the more we try to hold on to staying who we are and what we are, and we try to keep getting back to what we are, the more try to get back to what we were, the more frustrating life can be. And I feel like that can be a real frustration in life. It can be a real challenge in life. And it's not for us to be able to be challenged by it. It is for us to be able to move with it instead of the friction of it. So we just got to move through it. And so there is, like I said, there is movement, but watch that video. And so if you're going on my YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching my videos and hit the notification, you'll always know when they are coming up and available. So actually, I am going to actually start it tonight with a tarot. Let's start with a tarot. Let's see what the tarot brings us. My friend was laughing at my tarot the other day because this is like, me and this deck have been together for years, and it is like one of the decks that is like would be your probably like the beginner decks, but it's one of my I go back. I always go back to it, even though I have so many decks. I go back to it because it's the one that knows how to kick my ass. And sometimes we just need that. Sometimes we just need that kick in the ass message. And so we have the Seven of Wands. It's not a major life event. So this can be the card of, protecting what we've already built. Okay, somebody's finally in on YouTube. Okay, Beth, thank you. I wanted to make sure we were on YouTube as well. So, the Seven of Wands brings us into, the wands represents the fire. Now, I have a lot of different connections. I feel like this goes back ancient, and I just listening to I think she's a psychologist who's also a like master in tarot. And I was doing a class with her, and she does the same thing I do. She often sees the wands. She often sees the swords as more of a fire sign, the more of the fire. And I do that often too. And so these wands, though, is that sense of protecting what is ours, protecting what is sacred. And sometimes what we're trying to protect, what we're trying to keep together, or what we're trying to hold on to, is sometimes the things we need to let go of. Other things is about sacred. So one of the most sacred things that is coming up with this card for myself, the 7, because we at this pivotal point of, where you've been, the challenges, how hard it is, the work that goes into life. And then you start to build this momentum, and you get to this pivotal point where, it's so easy to fall back. It's so easy to lose our ways. It's so easy to get caught up in drama. We're very human, but we know in our hearts the way that we need to go. Boundaries and learning how to place boundaries is so important. I found myself also falling victim to emotions and responding to something that I should not have responded to in a time of when I should have been available to myself. And I'm like, oh my God. And for a moment, and when I could get myself back into my space, I went, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I let myself respond to something that I should not have responded to? Why did I let myself fall victim to that? And I had to ask myself why I didn't place the boundary that needed to be there. Why I was so lenient. Why I just kind of opened the door, made myself available, just walked through that door instead of just saying, I'm not available. I'm just not available. And so sometimes we always talk about saying yes, the power of saying yes to yourself. Like, learn to say yes to yourself. Well, learning to say no to your desires, to your shadow self, to the essence of the fight or flight response. To say no, I'm not doing that. No, don't you dare cross that line. No, Don't you answer that call. No. And learning to be able to say no to yourself when you are about to respond to something, when you're about to step into something. Because once the wheels are in motion and once you're in it, it is a lot harder to put the brakes on and stop. And that is some of the energy that is around. You're speaking to you tonight. Yeah, right. And so it is the exact same thing as when your mouth opens and shit starts to come out and you start to speak in a way that you're just like, oh, why did I go there? So learning to really, truly breathe back into you, look at where it has led you before, to really recognize what you're about to do and where you're about to step into. So I even ask myself, like, even if I'm coming in to do a live, does this feel right to me? Do I just feel guilty that I have not been in and I have not done a live in 2 weeks? So am I responding because I just feel guilty and I feel like I should be there? Or is it something I really know that I want to do? And I will check in with myself and I ask myself that. And so knowing that, then I know that whatever I'm about to move forward with, if I'm about to move forward with it, then I'm doing what is right, and not the second response of guilt or feeling like, oh my God, like I'm getting caught up in somebody's emotions. You'll never solve a problem by staying in the problem. Remember that. When you engage in the problems, when you even let your emotions get lost in something, in another one's problems, in somebody else's problems, in your angers, whatever it is, if you let yourself get lost in it and you get lost in that energy, you would become a part of the problem. Somebody has to stay in the solution. And so saying no is like, no, speak to me when you're in the right state of mind. Speak to me when you feel better, because then you carry the guilt. Then you carry all this energy because you came in a weaker energy. You didn't come in your highest self. And connecting into that highest self, to be with that highest self, to be connected to that highest self, it is important to learn how to be able to stay in that mindset, that state of mind when we're making decisions. So that's our opening card. Swallowfoot. Yeah, I know. I used to always say, Mom, you're spitting out crow feathers again, right? It's like you really got to sometimes process. And so sometimes that wheel, if we're in motion, if we're about to do something, we have to stop ourselves in our own tracks. And it's so important to learn to stop ourselves in our own tracks and just say, no, you would stop your best friend from making the shittiest decision, or you would try your best. If you're watching your best friend leave a bar and you're seeing her just about to make the biggest mistake because, might have the beer goggles on, it might be it might be anything, and you're like, no, I can't let you do that. I absolutely can't let you do that. So you stop the friend, and the friend might be a little bit pissed off, but they're going to be thanking you. They're going to be thanking you. Well, you have to become that. You have to become your best friend that way. And you have to learn the power of just saying, no, I got to stop myself right here. I got to check in with myself, and I have to make sure of what I'm about to do. And when we do that, we're able to really truly consider, to look at all perspectives before the wheel moves again, before things start going into a direction. So we got to check in with the body. We got to check in with that self to know what we're about to do. Because sometimes what we are, so what our heart thinks it wants, or that sense of that passion and desires that we have, that sense of forceful energy, what we're about to light fire to, what we're about to, set fire to in our own lives. Is it always the best option or the best choice? Sid. Holy. All right. Oh, thanks, Teresa. Okay. All right, let's see. What do we got coming? Let's see what's next. Let's just play out a second card to this. I feel like I want to play out a second card. See, another 7. We have Seven of Pentacles. So this is earthly, material world. Is this the money tree? Here's the ladder. And so we all have a ladder to life, right? We all have this ladder that we're climbing. We all have this, but our ladder doesn't go straight up. Our ladder is like circular. So everything that we do in our lives is not one straight way. Everything is moving. Everything goes this way, right? It's not a straight direction. Everything is not always, it's not always black or white. It is not always one way. The way I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles is that there's many outlets, many opportunities, and that's what the energy is bringing forth for us, is that this can bring us into, our right choice can lead us down the path of a more, a life of riches and abundance, and not always in cash, but in happiness and joy. It is the evolution of the emotions. It's about us being able to find that sense of peace, to be at peace, to be happier with ourselves. And when we can truly, close off our sacred space to everything and everyone else, then we don't have to rush to kind of pick from the tree. We don't have to rush to grab up the things that we feel like we have to protect. Is that we can let ourselves sit idle within ourselves and be available and say, you know what, I don't have to rush to do that. I don't have to rush to get that idea out. I can learn more about what I'm about to do. I can grow more. I can sit with myself. If no one else is coming in to pick the apples off your tree and it's all your apples, you get the choice of whether or not you're going to choose to share those apples or you're going to keep the apples for yourself. It's totally going to be up to you. But nobody else should be able to guilt you into what you're going to do with what's within you. And to use your gifts, to use your voice, to use your power, to use anything of what you are. It's the choice when you say yes and when you feel right about saying yes. When you decide to open your heart, it doesn't mean that there's a doormat, that you become a swinging door and it's like wide open and it gets abused and overused and taken advantage of. It's you use discernment. You can greet people at that door and you can decide who and what gets in so that you're not being robbed of the most precious things about yourself. I don't know who needs to hear that, but that message needed to come out tonight. So hope it connects with somebody. All right. Sorry, I do have a sore throat tonight. So I'm going to choose a couple people this evening. That message is for you, Cora? Okay, well, I'm glad you got that. Cora, I'm actually going to choose you first. And I'm choosing you because you messaged me today to tell me that there was another imposter. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I did get a message from Instagram, never sends you a message. I got a message from Facebook today that said, we take this very serious. We are investigating this. And the person that's using your pictures under a whole nother name, it was like Rose Hannah or something. We are investigating it. So it is being investigated. So thank you. Cora, I'm going to choose you. Oh, Cora. Okay, 3 cards fell out, and I'm going to go with this. You just can't make this shit up. I spoke about the world, and I spoke about the tower as being like the energy. Here's the tower. Here's the world. Right? No, I spoke at wheel. Sorry. Here's the tower, but here's the world. The world spins like the wheel. But here's the tower card. You just can't make this up. The tower energy is something that was happening a few weeks ago. I don't know what you had going on a few weeks ago or what has been transpiring in your life, but it feels as if this was a tower moment in your life. And it feels like it has left you like juggling with your own, between your mind and your heart. And you're going back between what your mind is trying to tell you, and your mind can convince you of anything. It can convince you to do anything. Your mind is powerful, but your heart, your body will never lie to you. Something just does not feel right. And this tower was shining a light upon something that felt like it was being like either trapped and trapped emotions, or something that just feels like it wasn't fully bringing you into like full happiness in your life. And the wheels are in motion. Something is changing. So this is, there's opportunity to kind of look at things. And I always say, when we see this, is the sun coming up or is it the sun setting? Is it the moon? Is this the ship coming in or is this the ship going out? Is this dolphins actually, this the sign of something good coming in? Is this a partnership? What is coming in? Do we see a second dolphin? Here we have this two, right? This two of pentacles. So something in this, how we view things, how we see things, is often how we see the tower card. So if you see this as a horrible card, you may be always waiting for the shoe to fall. You may be always waiting for the worst. But this tower card is often a good opportunity, because it's the opportunity to clean out the weeds. It is the things that is trapped within that we free within ourselves, and there's an opportunity of something good to come into your life. So it's opening up space, because this is the world card, and the world is saying to you, these are major arcana cards. So you have two major life events, some major changes. This feels like what may have felt like, why am I here again? What is this? What is this telling me? And this, you are cleaning out shit. Okay. And the world card is telling you, the world is yours, but what world you create in your mind will be the world that you exist in. So clean out the chaos, the doubt, the old stories. Don't drag it any farther. Don't let it go any farther. It is time to release, let go. You are not anything of your past, nor is anything of your past now, and making you to choose your decisions today. Everything we do in our today is because there's something we're making a choice. So what choice do you need to make today to be able to open your heart to allowing yourself to see the world with a new view, with new eyes, a new perspective? And I feel like there's something of a change that is happening. And Cora, I just keep hearing this song, My Cheating Heart. And so, My Cheating Heart. So I don't know if you've been, betrayed, been lied to, those type of things, like in the past, and you carry that fear of being able to ever trust again. But I just keep hearing My Cheating Heart. Or if you are cheating yourself out of all of the good, great things that life really truly has. Contemplation. Think about this. The world is yours, but what world are you creating in your mind? How you want to see that future? The tower came to be able to break down those barriers, to shine a light. You had to shine a light up on what you really needed to see within you, within your life, and it had to be seen. And so when we're juggling around, like, what do I do here? How are you going to look at it? Are you seeing it as an opportunity? Are you seeing it as change? Are you seeing it as these good things coming in? I feel like you have a really good opportunity to really start to change the view, and to be able to create a whole new way or a new world for you to move forward in. But the world is yours. And I just feel like you're just opening your heart and letting the world flow in, or letting everything flow into you, instead of you trying to force it to happen as well. And I'm like, I just feel like there's a pressure on my chest, and I'm like, I just want to be able to fucking breathe, like, just breathe. And so I don't know who you got on the other side that loves to swear, but somebody's just doing that swear. And so it's like, I just wanted to be able to breathe. And I just keep hearing that. I just wanted to be able to breathe. I just couldn't breathe. And so I don't know who that was that struggled with their breath or struggled with their breathing, Cora, but I'm like, somebody over there that really struggled with this is just like, don't create the same chaos in your mind. Like, don't let yourself go there. Don't go there. And I just keep hearing it. Don't go there, Cora. Don't go there. It is not as I just feel like there's just so much better or so many good things that are just waiting. That's my message. That's what I got for you. Yes, exactly, Natasha. My baby girl. Ah, all right. Well, there you go, Cora. I hope that helps you in some way. Um, all right. Let's see. Felicia, I'm actually going to pull a card for you. You haven't had a card in a long time. And I'm going back to my deck for you, Felicia. Good, Cora. I'm glad that could help you. See? All of this, see the synchronicities, Cora? You're meant to message me this morning. That was all meant to happen so that you could get here. I would be on here tonight to give you that message. That's how it happens. Hello, Carmela. Felicia. The Observer. You got Shelta. And she's a 10. So that is 5 5s, right? Or a 1, right? And so we have Shelta. She is the observer. So sitting back, observing, assessing the situation. And so the other aspect of the observer is that your soul, your spirit essence, it's always observing you, right? There is an authenticity to the soul. Your soul is like your thumbprint. It is uniquely designed to, your your soul was meant to connect to for this lifetime. The essence of your spirit ties into that whole essence of this oneness, right? This expansion of the universal energy. We all can access the same emotions, the same, the same kind of energy. But the soul is the imprint of, the journey of where the soul has previously been on this. So the soul has wisdom for you. And the more that you sit back in the pause and you sit and you wait before you respond, the wiser the wiser it is going to be. The wiser like the not the communication, the wiser the wisdom that will speak to you, and then allowing it to speak through you. So imagine that if your greatest counsel that you would consult with, not your best friends, because and we always joke about this in coaching school, your best friend is not your life coach. Your best friend is going to give you the advice based on their previous experience. And if they are still pissed the frick off about somebody of their past, they're going to give you the advice that they wish they had taken at the time when they had been in the situations. Family will often do the same thing. It's like you're great at giving advice, shitty at taking advice, right? And so that's why I said I don't work with family, right? And so when you look at the advice and where it's coming from, you got to think, is this advice that they didn't that they wish they had taken previously, but they are not in this experience, they're not in my experience, they're not where I am. So being able to meet with our counsel, to connect to our higher consciousness, our deeper awareness, and to be able to access a new wisdom to before we speak is crucial. So we always ask questions. As a life coach, we question. So I ask people questions, and it throws people off. When I'm in sessions, they're like, "Well, that's your job," and I'm like, "No, my job is to communicate the messages that are coming through, and for me to be able to question you, to be able to help you to transcend, to move through this situation, this story. So it's, how will this benefit me? If I act this way, if I, how's this benefiting me? Me being this way, me sacrifice, the me giving away my power, me being upset, how will this serve me? Um, and so the other ones, what is the desired outcome? What is the desired outcome that you seek? What are you hoping to see happen? And what happens if it doesn't happen? Right? And so these are questions that we ask. I'm trying to wait. I'm getting super frustrated. So yeah, so ask yourself the question. You know, so ask yourself that question. Ask yourself those questions. You know, um, what if? Imagine, imagine as if when I speak my truth, everything just goes so smoothly. I see everything going smoothly. I see everything working out. I see me getting that desired outcome. I see that. I can feel it. So feel that. And then connect to, oh, you know, this is what happened previously when things didn't work out or when I didn't get the same response. And so so that you can navigate that feeling again. Oh, yeah, it's always that same feeling. So now we have that self prophecy of waiting for that same feeling that you would have gotten in the past. But what if you don't get it this time? What if it's something different? And so I want to feel this way. So if nobody else can give me that feeling, I need to create that feeling that no matter the outcome, I have to be able to bring myself back to that feeling within myself, to be at peace with myself for any choice or any decision that I've made. Right? And so yeah, so you're just right. So it's like this is old. This is old energy. We just go to what's familiar, but take yourself into the new energy and move yourself there and observe yourself feeling that new energy. And that is all your responsibility to get yourself there. No matter what, that's where you want to be. So breathe that back into you and become an observer of every time you're allowing your head, your thoughts to go to the past and creating that energy of the past and bringing in that energy of the past. It's like, no, I'm creating something that hasn't even happened yet. And so what we create, we attract. So, we'll become a magnet for it. So be a magnet for the good things. What if it all works out? Create that energy and then be a magnet for it. And if you don't get it in one spot, you're going to get it somewhere else, right? So see a magnet of goodness, of greatness, of great news, of like just be that magnet of good things coming in. And that's your job. That's your duty. That's what you have to do right now. Imperfectly perfect. We have Gemma, right? There's never, sometimes we don't get the most perfect response, the most perfect, but there's so much to be seen. But the light, humans may not be able to have the most perfect lives, but the divine can. And divine light and divine timing and all of those things all kind of can bring us into a place of where the unexpected can happen. So in the most imperfect moments, in the most imperfect situations, the most perfect response, the most perfect miracle, the most perfect outcome can transpire. Remember that. That's your message. I hope it resonates with you. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Good. You're welcome. Jenna. Jenna New Sawan, are you still here? And then if Michelle Gibson is still here. I'm choosing Michelle. I'm hearing Michelle's name. So I'm going Jenna, if Jenna's still here, Jenna Newsowen. And then I'm going to go Michelle, if Michelle Gibson's still here. So I'm just waiting to see. Neither one of you are here? Really? All right then. Oh, Michelle is here. Okay. All right. Michelle's here because she's texting me to tell me she is here. All right, Michelle. Hey, Michelle, 2011. Look at the number. Okay. Michelle. I'm going kicking the ass. All right. You were saying pick me? I could hear you. I'm like, I could hear this voice just saying, it's Michelle. Choose Michelle. Choose Michelle. And then if Jenna does come back, we'll choose Jenna too. So, the cards don't even want to go together. Honestly, like, look. And if anyone knows me, knows that my hands doesn't work that well. So I can't do, you know how you see all the cool things that all the cool people do when they like do their cards like this? I can't do that because my hands don't work. So I get to do this, and that's just as good. All right. Yeah, I know. They don't want to go in. Okay, Michelle. What is it that Michelle needs to know? That there's a voice calling out to me to speak with Michelle today. What is it that Michelle needs to know? And I'm going into the middle of the deck for you. Oh, we have the Two of Cups. So, and we have the Queen, and then I chose from the top, and we have the Queen of Wands. Now, I feel a need to go to the bottom because there's an underlying here. We have the Knight of Swords. Interesting. This is interesting. I have the playing out of so sometimes when we play with fire, we can get burned. And that is sometimes feels like when we kind of go against our own soul. So the Two of Cups and what it's telling me is it is bringing into, and we just went into Gemini energy. So we've just come into the Gemini season. And the Gemini has two faces, right? It has not two faces, it has two sides. And so there's two sides. And so this is back into that essence of the way that I'm getting it is the story of like Inanna, the diving in deep to pick up, to resurrect that sense of the self that has been kind of buried for a long time. So there is some sort of, she's the queen and she's determined. She's got a strong sense of determination. Now she's holding her wand kind of down at the end and not the magnetic. The fire is already lit. So the fire has already been lit. And it is just what it's telling us. I'm asking them to give me this in as much clarity as they possibly can, because this is definitely coming from ancient times. So the fire has already been lit. Stop trying to light the fire. Stop trying to create this sense of self. Stop trying to discover this sense of self, and let ourselves drop. So there is a drop to the bottom of the sea. It is being able to look into the face of the self, to look into the face of all versions of the self, and to really truly ask yourself, what is it that I feel like I still need to be at war with when I have already won the war? Why do I still need to be at war? Why do I keep thinking that I have to be a warrior to be at war when I have already won the war? I just have to pick up the pieces. I have to dive in deep to pick up that pieces of myself. I have to bring this back together. But when we're so busy existing in the 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 physical body or the mental body and the emotional body, we're not able to get into the body of self. We're not able to dive into the deep sea of the body. So there is a deep dive that is required of why we keep feeling like we still have to defeat or we have to win the battle when the battle was already won. There's nothing left to keep fighting for, and there's nothing left to keep trying to prove here. It is now time to let that version of self that you've kept in protection and hiding, you got to bring it up, right? And so it's, it may not be perfect, it might be imperfect, but you got to bring it to the surface. So there is something of yourself that is trying to get to the surface and trying to come up and out. I was apologizing to myself last night for accepting bad behavior last night. Yeah, right? And so it's like you don't have any wars to fight. Making that sense of peace or being at peace. And so I asked for there to be a validation, and I did get the chariot. And the chariot is like that direction. So being unapologetic that, you get to sit up and let yourself be guided, let yourself be taken on the journey to that frenzy, right? You get to be carried by the guides, by the spirit, to be carried by the divine into the next phases, into the next stages of life. But there is a direction, there is a path. But if you try to stay in the warrior and you try to stay over here fighting this, you try to keep fighting this, all you're fighting is self, because you're at war and battle with that self. And it's time for you to set yourself free of being at war and battle with that self. That's your message. So there is a change in direction. So we have major arcana. We have we have the major arcana with the chariot, and that's a 12. So there is like things are trying to move forward, right? But for some reason you keep turning around to go back to war instead of going ahead and getting to that place and picking up that piece. It's like there's something waiting. You can't get to the treasures if you keep turning around to go back into war. You can't get to the treasures if you keep turning around to go back to war. Stop going to war. That's why. Because you are giving the power away, and you are running the loop and the gambit all the time, and it's time to get out of there. Get out. Get out. Yeah. That's what we got. All right. And please share out my videos, as I am back in that place of where nothing of my page is going anywhere again. I tend to find myself looping back in there again. And so, yeah, share out my pages. There's also a star button. You can also donate to the page through the stars or through the PayPal account, whichever you want to do, but you can donate. But the stars are on the bottom. And I'm going to choose Carmela. Are you still here, Carmela? Just waiting to see if Carmela is still here. Because I got another 5 minutes. So, hello, Wendy. Carmela, are you still here? No? All right. Hello, Ruth. Oh, there you are. Yes, you are. Okay. There's Carmela. Okay, Carmela, I am going to choose you. And I'm going to give you a card. And I'm going back to my deck for you. Beautiful Carmela with a heart of gold. Okay. Benevolence, Mary, and Scarlet Unveiling. So benevolence speaks of that divine kindness, that kindness that really has no judgment. And I feel like you are that to so many people. Now her name is Mary. She's a card that did get a name change in the producing of the cards. And so she has got a name change. And so she was called Perphone before, and I've changed her name to Mary. And I always think of the presence of divinity. And so over here, we have like that naked and raw. She's just beginning a whole new journey. And then over here, we've got the one who's like made it. She's celebrating. And I just feel like for you, Carmela, I feel like you celebrate everyone else. Everyone else. It's like you're always celebrating everyone else. And I feel like life has really given you some real like challenges and kind of riding that waves of up and down. But now the unveiling is Scarlet. And Scarlet is coming in to say to you, you know, you don't have to keep looking over your shoulders. It's safe for you to unveil you. It is safe for you to let people see who and what you are. Let people see what you do. Let people see you. And I feel like it's really truly your time. And it's the kindest thing that you can do for yourself is to start letting yourself shine, letting yourself be seen, letting yourself be equally as, you know, as visible in this world as everyone else is. It's almost as if you never have time to do those things for you because you're so busy making sure that you take care of everyone else, making sure that you care for everyone else. And I know I'm getting this message from spirit today. I know this is someone who you really took care of. You did everything for, you nurtured, and I'm like, and I just keep getting, now's your time. Now it's your time. Now it's time for you to start taking care of you. It's time for you to start doing the things that you want to do for you. And I keep getting like this. It looks like a roll up blind to me. You know, the blinds when you pull them down and you let go of this and you let them go too fast and they like twirl around. Those type of spring type of blinds. I keep seeing like one of those, and I'm like, is that like a veil that is being lifted, or is this somebody of the past showing me something that you guys used to do, or something that was in your house? But those blinds that you pull down and right, and they get stuck, and then right, it's like I keep seeing one of those. So I don't know where that ties in, Carmela, but I keep seeing one of those blinds. And I'm like, it's time to let the sunshine up on you. It's time to let yourself be seen. And I just keep getting, I keep getting, the sun is always on me over here. The sun is always on me over here. Let the sun shine on you. And it's your time to let the sun shine on you. It's your time to, in your life, in your place, to not to be afraid to let yourself out, let yourself be seen, to start to do some of the things that are really truly what you've been saying. I think I'm going to start doing this. I think I'll start doing that. Well, it's time. We don't have forever. We got today. And today is the day that you have to start to do the things for you. And that's your message. And I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to do one last card, but it's just going to be a general for everyone. I promise I'm going to try to get in sooner than 2 weeks. We just got so much on the go. We're in the middle of revising. So we're doing a revise of the first book. We are in the process of getting these cards out. This has been quite the process. This is not easy. And we're also editing like another book, and I'm in the middle of teaching another class. So there's all kinds of stuff that is happening. It's just stuff that you don't get to see. I'm not sitting back here, not doing nothing. There's a lot that is happening of me trying to get more stuff out. But I promise I'll try to get in more often. Try my best. That's so amazing. I did have a brown wicker blind in a townhouse I lived. It all makes sense. You hit the target about me celebrating others. I love everyone. Yes, you do love everyone, right? And I'm glad the blind makes sense, because I'm like, I just keep seeing the blind, and I'm like, the blind keeps going up and going down. I'm like, just keeps going. So you are so welcome. I'm glad that makes sense. Yeah, thank you. You are so, so welcome. And so let's finish up with another card. Like I said, I do have the new YouTube video out. So the new YouTube video is out. I have not shared it over to Facebook, but I just released it today. It is the energy update for this week. It's actually a big message. It's a very big message, actually. And it's about 35 minutes. And so it is something that's very big. It really flows into the weekend one. So if you listen to the one that went from the weekend, that still continues to today. And then that one, it'll occupy you for a bit of time, for sure. Our final card is temptation, unity. And we get so tempted to try to do this world on our own, to forget that we are spirit, that we are connected to spirit, and that there is a divine presence, and there is a spiritual presence. There is an existence of a spirit all times. And I used to always say to people, I'm like, if you're afraid of ghosts, then you're afraid of yourself, because you are a ghost. You're a spirit. And all of the ghosts of the past, all the previous versions of you, are all like ghosts. It is all the aspects of what once was. It is not what is. You are not that of your past. You experienced it. You went through the experience. You don't forget the experiences, but you are not even the same person who was in those experiences. And so when we try to master the master, right? When we try to be greater than the divine, it can be such chaos. We can cause ourselves such turmoil. We can be at angst. We can be at war with ourselves in so many ways. This card was created with one thread, and it speaks of that. And so unity is that coming together. So we have the mind, body, soul connection. We also have the spirit. We exist in all of these bodies, but we also have that power of our good, bad, and our ugly. We all have the capability to do something so good, but we also have the capability to make ourselves our worst nightmare, to be so not kind to ourselves, to really truly let our past or our old emotions have just totally take control. And when we can learn the power of connecting back to spirit, connecting back to the divine, building that relationship with self, we stop fearing being in our own presence. We stop fearing being present with ourselves. We start to set ourselves free of everything that sometimes becomes the things that start as these little things that become the things that destroy us. And it is not always easy to do that. It is often sometimes hard. And it's really hard to not to take the world personally or to take things so personally sometimes. And some things are personal and other things are not. But people can be good and people can be not good. And the nicest people can be pulled down a rabbit hole and can do things that are not very kind. And they're the people that are often those that are, that can sometimes be the dearest and closest at one point, but they can be so you can be so triggered by an emotion that if one thing is said that then triggers their anger, that returns them all the way back to what they were mad at 30 years ago, then you're going to be the next enemy. And then it snowballs and it just becomes this like this this chaotic chaos of in our own minds, and our own minds then creates this enemy, and you can turn against somebody, and then you can turn all your friends against somebody, and then you can turn the whole community. Like, it's amazing how quickly you can go from being on top of the world to being at the bottom of the barrel, and all because one person can have that kind of power. So we have such a power inside of us. We have such an energy within us. We have such capability within us to be a catalyst of change for the good, or for some not so good moments. And I have bared witness to a lot of this in so many ways. And a huge part of more than existing, and why I chose to more than exist, to do my more than existing work, to travel all the way through the dark night of the soul, to travel all the way through, was not to look at anyone else, but was to look at myself, to not to be afraid to face my own self, to face my own fears, to face my own monsters, to face my own capabilities. That if I'm angry, if I'm upset, if I talk, if I do this, you know, all of these things. And if we have, we're here to take care of that source, that light, that love, that power. So the love of power can override the power of love. And when it overrides the power of love, we are capable, not even intentional, but unintentionally, kind of being that catalyst of, like, you see it in kids in school, how one friend could be ostracized, turned the whole, how easily one bully can turn everybody, can turn a whole chaos that could be in union into absolute enemies, can divide. And it's time for us to really look at that perspective and to look at that view, and not to be tempted to break that connection to the soul, to the heart of the matter, to our divine, to our Christ-like energy, to the God-like energy, to the God consciousness, to source, to creator, whatever that is. If we have the capability to do good, we should learn the power of learning how to do that good to ourselves, to be good to ourselves, so that we can be the best that we can be. Because it's all about, this whole journey is all about just being the best human that we can be, even to ourselves. And that's so important right now. We need that more than ever. And I hope this helps you in some way. But I can feel my voice going. I can feel my voice going now. So I want to thank you. Wendy, you missed the beginning. You got to go back to the beginning and listen to the beginning, and then go listen to this week's video. Yes, exactly, Natasha. You can be your own worst enemy. It's amazing what we can do to ourselves. It's incredible how we can, it's amazing that we don't want anyone else to treat us that way. So why would you treat yourself that way? Why? I'll give you something to hold on to. Remember the little girl that you once were? Remember, every time you're speaking to every time you're being your own worst enemy, you're speaking to the aspects of her that still exist in you. So imagine as if that little version of you was still watching. Imagine as if that little girl of you was still sitting there listening to everything that you're saying, and that you're saying it to her. How would you like that? Remember that. I just finished, Christine, doing the whole, I did all my card readings earlier. Natasha, What you're saying speaks about something going on with me and others lately. Wow, hit that on. See? Spirit always knows what everyone needs. Thank you all for being here. You're so welcome, Ellie. And to everyone who joins in, thank you, thank you, thank you. Spread these out, share these videos so that we can get these back into the flow, because I have been knocked out of the whole flow again. Nothing of my content is going anywhere once again. I have no idea why this keeps happening to me, but I just trust the process. This is what it is. And there's just so many other things happening that I don't have time to worry about that part of it so much, but I will try to get in a little bit more. So you're so welcome, Teresa. And thank you to everyone who's here with me always. And go check out the YouTube video and go back to the beginning if you missed the beginning, because there was a message for everyone in here in the beginning of it. Have a beautiful evening, and I will speak with you soon. Go to my website and you can go there and you can book an appointment with me if you want to book an appointment. I also have a couple, one second. I have a couple spots left this week for videoed emailed readings. So if you're looking for my videoed email readings, when you go to the booking, at the very top little piece, it will say purchases to purchase. And in there is where the emailed readings are. So you can go in and you can purchase a 2, 3, or 5 card email reading. And this week you'll probably get it within like 48 hours. And so I have a couple slots left for those, but like I said, you can purchase a 2, 3, or 5 card emailed reading, and you'll get a videoed email reading from me with your cards and your whole message emailed to you. So you can go purchase those if you would like to have one of your own readings. Much love. Mwah. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.